Hey everyone, Stuart with Franklin Hill Ventures. I'm now in my second week of full-time reselling. Everything's going really well. Last week, if you take both sides of the reselling equation, the buying and the selling, I probably did better on the buying side, but still had a lot of sales. It was funny just being my first week, how many different people I had call me. I put a post on our neighborhood Facebook group about, the fact I was going full-time. I'll be around more if you need any help with anything. If you have packing supplies, if you have things to sell that you're looking to get rid of. And I actually had a couple of people call me and led to a couple of really good purchases last week. I got quite a bit of desert rose china, which is always a good seller for me. Actually have listed quite a bit of that. Actually listed all of it that I got and sold quite a bit of it already. Also had first dibs at an estate before they either take it to an estate sale or yard sale. So got a lot of good vintage and antique items. Already sold some of that as well and taken quite a bit of it out to my booth. So really excited about those two opportunities to purchase. Then a third opportunity I happened to be working at my antique booth weekend before last, I believe, and got a call from somebody who was looking to sell a few things, is what they said. So I ended up meeting them the next day, bought a lot of vintage artwork, a lot of vintage glassware, china, commemorative plates, which they don't sell for a lot, but I do sell a lot of them. And then they ended up calling me 2 or 3 more times, met up a couple more times, and bought some more stuff. So those three together turned into some really great opportunities to get some inventory, both for now and then for a rainy day as I look to get everything listed. So my goal this week is to really focus on the listing side. My overall listing goal is to get to 1,000 listings by the end of October. I'm currently about 630. So when I couple that with, the amount of things I have split between my two booth locations, I really should be in good shape. I've seen my volume of sales, just number of sales, really go up over the last couple of weeks. I'm shipping out a lot more packages every day. I need now to focus on getting those to be higher revenue items. The good thing is every month now seems to be a top 5 month. If I look back over my last 5 years, pretty much every month seems to be in that top 5 or so months of sales. Now I need to really take the next step and really bump up my revenue and profit, to be able to continue to do the full time. But so far, so good. I'm enjoying it. It's gone real well, staying busy. And I guess that's really it. And we can go ahead and jump now into some of the things I sold last week. We had some really good sales. Like I said, we sold a really high volume of items. I probably average shipping out 6 or 7 packages every day, which is a lot for me with some of the days, especially the weekend being higher. So anyway, let's jump right into what we sold last week. All right, we'll start with a couple of booth sales this week. I actually sold a ton in the booth, but most of the higher dollar sales, I couldn't find pictures of anything. So I'll just show 2 of these and then we'll jump over to the online sales. So the first one is this Native American, I guess it's a vase or a bowl. It's kind of flat, really cool. It was signed on the bottom. I sold that for $40. To be honest, I don't even remember where I picked it up, but I think it was at a thrift shop. So that was a good sale. And then the next one is this antique washstand. I bought this at a yard sale and paid, I believe it was $25 or so for it. And it sold for $75 in the booth, which, it's always great when you sell furniture. But kind of the downside is then you end up with a bunch of stuff on the floor, but that's a good problem to have. So not complaining. And we have gotten another piece of furniture in there to replace that. And both those things sold at my granny's attic location in Clinton, Tennessee. Just a side note, I think I've mentioned this before. If you happen to be in the Knoxville area, the first weekend in October, the Clinton River Antique Festival, it's in Clinton that weekend. It's really big. They'll close the streets down. There'll be street vendors. They're having a beer garden. I know pretty much all the stores in town run big sales. I know specifically at Granny's, the store wide, it'll be 20% off everything in the store. That includes some items that don't normally go on sale, like the Candleberry candles that are sold out of the store, as well as my Franklin Hill Farms jams and jellies. So if you happen to be in the Knoxville area, stop by and see us in Clinton. So, excuse me, we'll jump into the online sales now. And the first one is this vintage Hattie Carnegie signed brooch. And I don't really sell jewelry that often. That's the main reason I'm showing this. This is something outside my comfort zone. It did okay. Don't have much in it. It sold for $22.50 on an auction with 4 bids. A neat piece. As you can see, roses, has rhinestones and beads. So that was one sale. So, just encourage everyone, don't always just stick to one thing that you're comfortable selling, but look to branch out into other things. And I hope to learn more about jewelry in the coming months, especially now that I'm full-time and we'll have a little more time for research of those types of things. The next item that I'll show, this by itself is not a huge sale, $18, free shipping. It went first class. But the reason I show this is I bought about 50 of these Santa ornaments, probably have about $1 a piece in them or so. And I'm selling them anywhere between $12 to $18 each, depending on whether they have a box and other things like that. I've already sold about 10 of these. So as you can see, anytime you can buy in volume, that's a good opportunity to make some money. They had these, I think they were selling them for about $5 a piece at the yard sale. And I just said, hey, if I were to buy all these, what kind of deal could I get? And, we settled on a price that ended up being, good. And like I mentioned, have about $1 a piece in those. Next, we have this New York pillow. It sold for $50. I did take a best offer on it. It also was free shipping, but went to Virginia, which from Tennessee is only about $7. Did not have a lot in this. Once again, this was a thrift shop find. So really cool pillow though, with, different scenes from the state of New York. Next is this Hunt for Red October game. And this is a board game based on the book by Tom Clancy. I believe it is from 1988, and this is another thrift shop find. Did not pay more than a couple of dollars for this. This sold for $30, very quick seller, plus the buyer paid shipping. So any vintage board games, especially ones that are role-playing games or war games, those types of things have always sold real well for me. And this one happened to be unpunched. All the pieces were still, completely, in the original state, even though it had been opened. The next item will be this vintage Kbny, and that's Kosheric, I guess is how you say that, brothers. This is one of those. I love this piece. I really like anything with birds. A really cool trinket dish. I thought it would sell for more, but I had it listed for a pretty good while. Ended up taking a best offer of $19 when I had it listed for $35. This was in a box lot that I got at an auction, so did not have a lot in it. So still made a decent profit at $19. But this was a Macari sale. So I did do well. I think I sold on eBay, Etsy. All right, I'm not sure how chopped up this is going to be because I got a phone call from my antique booth asking for a price on something right when I was recording this. But rather than trying to record the whole thing again, I'm just going to try to chop out the part where I got the phone call. So we'll see how that turns out. But anyway, I think I had said everything I needed to say about this item. I think I was mentioning I had sold on eBay, Macari, Facebook Marketplace, and Etsy this week. I don't believe I sold anything on Poshmark or Depop. And then the last sale, this is my best sale of the week. And this is a vintage Bartlett Collins cookie jar. Very cool orange and yellow, kind of mid-century modern. I think it's from the 60s. I'm not 100% sure about that. But this sold on Facebook Marketplace for $95, plus the buyer paid shipping. This sold really within 30 minutes to an hour of listing it. I think I was in the right ballpark on the money. I don't think it would have sold for too much more than that, but this was a really good sale and one of my favorite pieces that I've listed here in a while. So I believe that is all I have for this week. Um, I will be back next week to talk more about how things have gone with the full-time reselling, and hope everyone has great luck in their own reselling adventures this week, and we will see you next time.